When my grandparents were raising me, I learned that if you work hard, you play by the rules, you should be able to get ahead. And as I travel throughout the state of Wisconsin, meeting with Wisconsinites, I know that my fellow Wisconsinites learned that very same thing when they were growing up. But today, people are working as hard as ever, and they deserve to get ahead. But many are working full-time, many are working 2 jobs to make ends meet, and yet far too many are just barely getting by or living in poverty. As I've traveled my state, Wisconsinites have told me that the powerful and the well-connected seem to get to write all of their own rules, while the concerns and struggles of working poor and middle-class families go unnoticed here in Washington. They feel like our economic system is tilted towards those at the very top, and that our political system exists to protect those unfair advantages. The House budget introduced by Congressman Paul Ryan from my own home state is a perfect example of that, when instead we should be making sure that everybody gets a fair shot. So I'm really proud to join my colleagues this afternoon to deliver our own call for action. It's simple. The time is now to give hardworking Americans a raise. We can do that if both parties work together to reward hard work, so an honest day's work pays more. We can do that by raising the minimum wage. I believe we need to build a fairer economy and grow the middle class. I believe our economy is strongest when we expand opportunity for everyone. And that's why I'm an original co-sponsor of the Minimum Wage Fairness Act. Raising the minimum wage would improve the economic security of families across the country and strengthen the overall economy. It would give 28 million American workers a raise, including over 595,000 Wisconsinites, benefiting more than 250,000 Wisconsin children who would have at least one parent getting that raise. It would mean workers in Wisconsin would have $816 million more to spend at local businesses, which, according to the Economic Policy Institute, would boost Wisconsin's GDP by $516.6 million and generate 1,800 new jobs after only 3 years. Because women are disproportionately low-wage workers, making up 2/3 of low-wage workers in the country, raising the minimum wage would also directly impact millions of women across America. Nadine from Appleton, Wisconsin, would directly benefit from a raise. Nadine is a 20-year-old woman who makes the tipped minimum wage, working as a server in a family restaurant. Now, I probably need to remind some people that the tipped minimum wage is only $2.13 an hour. Nadine got her first job at age 14 so that she could start saving for college. She started college, but had stopped attending because she simply couldn't afford it. Nadine even moved from her small hometown to a larger city in search of a better job so that she'd be able to return to school. In telling her story, Nadine writes, "Raising the minimum wage is not an abstract notion in my life. It's a real factor that affects me in several important ways. First and most importantly, it is important to me because I am a young woman and I am working to support myself. I had to put going to college on hold because I couldn't afford it. Without a higher income, I worry I won't be able to transition from dead-end jobs into a long-term career." Nadine currently averages $200 to $300 per week. She spends $50 on gas every week because she can't afford a more fuel-efficient car. She eats simply in order to budget $30 each week for food. The rest of her income goes to rent and other bills. Needless to say, it doesn't go far. Nadine picks up every shift available to her and doesn't rely on government assistance of any kind. She worries that she'll never be able to experience things like having a family and finishing college, traveling, and just having a fair shot at building a stronger future for herself. Women like Nadine make up 72% of workers in predominantly tipped occupations. And workers in tipped occupations are twice as likely as other workers to experience poverty. And servers are almost 3 times as likely to be in poverty. If for no other reason, we need to raise the minimum wage because in America, no one who works full-time should have to live or raise a family in poverty. Raising the full minimum wage and the tipped wage will give 15 million women a raise, including 330,000 in my state of Wisconsin. Women who make up 80% of America's 2.8 million working single parents would benefit from an increase in the minimum wage, reducing child poverty among female-headed households. According to the Center for American Progress, raising the minimum wage to $10.10 an hour would reduce dependence on government programs, including the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program that we commonly call SNAP, which would see nearly 3.5 million fewer enrollments and save $46 billion over the next decade. And raising the minimum wage will help make progress towards closing the gender pay gap. I now look forward to getting the job done and reward the hard work of women across our great country. To get the job done of passing the Minimum Wage Fairness Act. To get the job done of giving American women the raise they deserve. Thank you, and I yield back.